Good morning. Good morning, Amazon World, Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Snapchat, wherever you're listening from. Good morning, YouTube. I hope everybody is fantastic out there. Today, we're going to have an amazing conversation with this incredible woman who has had a journey of essential oils and health and wellness for many, many, many years. And she is going to bring today to us all of her amazing knowledge and insight that she has. We're going to be talking about some of the incredible oils of the world. And without further ado, because I have learned so much from this amazing woman and my journey in essential oils for 32 years as a wellness coach, Miss Christina Rose Campbell, I am so excited to have you here today. How are you?
I'm great, and I'm excited to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
You are very welcome. We have something. Let me go ahead and get this up. Things had a really hectic this morning, but we're going to go ahead and see if I can find us over here. Where are we? Let me see. Bear with me for just a minute here. Miss Christina Campbell. Oh, there's so much going on today. Okay, let me back up here. Miss Christina Campbell, how long have you been in the industry?
22 years.
22 years, that's a long time. And would you say your journey has been nothing less than amazing?
It has. It's been really amazing and empowering and enlightening. And of course, I've gained a lot of knowledge over the years. And I actually became a nationally registered certified master aromatherapist in 2008 through the Australasian College of Health Sciences, which is now the American College of Health Sciences. And I've applied that and what I've learned through my my being a part of Young Living has really helped to help me help others.
Wow. Okay. So let's start with this, the basics of essential oils, because a lot of people don't really understand what essential oils are. I remember I was using a product called years and years ago. There was a product called T367, and I still to this day call it T367, more commonly known as Melaleuca oil, Melaleuca alternifolia oil, or tea tree oil, which is sold, I know, by Young Living as well as doTERRA and some other some other companies. There are so many people out here who are getting confused about what is an essential oil. How do you really know if it's an essential oil? I didn't know. All I knew is the oil was healing me and helping me. And I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form that this is healing anybody, that they will be healed by using this. I'm not a medical professional. I don't claim for any of that. This is simply a stream for education. And that's why I'm so happy that you're here, because you are one of the best when it comes to knowledge about oils. How do you know? I mean, how do you really know if it's an essential oil? Let's just start here. What is an essential oil?
So an essential oil, Candy, is the lifeblood of the plant. So every plant has an aromatic property to it. This is the lifeblood of the plant. And it can be in the flowers, like in roses, or it can be in the plant, like peppermint, or in the bark, like cinnamon bark, or even in the root of the plant, like valerian root. And these droplets have been found to be very synergistic with our own blood chemistry. So essential oils have been used for literally since the beginning of time. We know from the New Testament that oils of frankincense and myrrh were brought to the Christ child. So we know that they were used over 2,000 years ago. And we have Egyptian writings that show that they were using myrrh and making little cones for their heads. The Egyptians would make cones out of tallow, and they would infuse that with essential oils of myrrh. And then as they walked through the arid sun along the Nile, those cones would melt and they would come over their body, and it would make their skin soft, and it would glow, and it would keep the sandflies and other insects away from them. So we've been using essential oils from the beginning of time.
And do people realize they've been using them?
Well, they don't, especially, in today's world where a lot of essential oils are used in food preparations, in cosmetics, and they just didn't know it was essential oils.
Okay. I've heard, and I've experienced as well with a lot of people. When somebody has an allergic reaction, and again, we're not doctors, so we're not claiming to be, but when they use the essential oils, how do they know if it's good for them? Because not everything is good for everybody at every time. So how does one get started if they wanted to use an oil and they hear all these magnificent things about them? How do they get started in using those, and what should they look out for? What's the best way for them to say, I want to try this?
Well, first of all, there are 3 ways that we use essential oils. They have to be pure, so you don't want to get an adulterated oil or an oil that's cut with anything. You want to get 100% pure essential oil. And those 3 ways are topically, aromatically, breathing it in. I usually take an essential oil and put a drop in my hand, and I will rub my hands together, and I will make what I call a little scent tent. And I will breathe it in so that it goes into my lungs, it gets into my bloodstream, it opens up my sinuses. In the case of peppermint,
Mm.
peppermint has anti-inflammatory properties. And the third way is ingestion. And again, this is where you really, really need to be careful and know the purity of your oils. So how do you tell if the oil is too strong for you, or if you have a sensitive reaction? In addressing the question about allergies, the beauty of pure essential oils is that you cannot have an allergic reaction to pure essential oils, because allergies come from, and I'm going to get a little scientific here, protein antigens. And there is no protein antigen in an essential oil. However, with that being said, you can have a sensitivity. And the best way to test for essential oil sensitivity is to take your oil, put 1 drop on the inside of your elbow. So I'm putting 1 drop on the inside of my elbow. I know you can't really see that. And then hold your arm like this for about 4 to 5 minutes. And if you have a sensitivity, when you release your arm and you look at it, you'll have a redness. So this tells me that you are sensitive and that you need to dilute. So I
Mhm.
use most of my oils what we call neat. This is dropping right out of a pure bottle of essential oil onto my body and then rubbing it in topically wherever I think that I need it. If I have discomfort in my back and I want my back supported, I'm going to use oils that are going to help with that discomfort, like peppermint or heliochrysum or clove, any of those. In fact, we have a blend called Panaway that is really great for that kind of discomfort. If you have exercise, like sore muscles from overdoing it, and you can never really overdo it, can you? I mean, you just need to get that body moving. Peppermint is really good for soothing those sore muscles because it helps to get the uric acid out of the muscle. So again, check for sensitivity, dilute. And when I say dilute, I want to mention that dilution means to take a carrier oil, which is way different than an essential oil. A carrier oil, the definition of a carrier oil is that it comes from a seed or nut. It's a fatty oil, so it has a different constituency than the pure essential oils. And when you're diluting them, you're not really diluting the efficacy of the essential oil. You're only kind of calming it down so that you don't have a sensitivity. If you use the same oil every day, every day, every day in the same place, you may even develop a sensitivity if you didn't have one in the beginning. So you do want to be cognizant of what's going on with your body. Listen to your body, watch your body, and then, use the oils appropriately.
Okay. And what kind of carrier oils? Because I notice sometimes I use coconut. I love coconut oil, and it does for me. That works for me. And I did not put it in the stream. The coconut oil also, depending on what you have, has a scent to it that could change, right? It could change the
A
scent.
little bit, but carrier oils don't. They do have aromatic molecules. You can slightly detect a scent from almond oil, but it's so benign that you're going to smell the essential oil over that. So almond oil, coconut oil, jojoba oil. Um, like for example, I had a father put, I think it was Panaway all over his child, or peppermint or something, and his child had very sensitive skin. And I said, do you have any carrier oil? And he said, no, I don't. And I said, well, then go to the kitchen and get some olive oil. So olive oil works too. So if you have a sensitivity, go and get your olive oil. You never want to try to wash the oil off, because oil and water don't mix, and you're just going to exacerbate the situation. So go to the kitchen, get some olive oil, rub the olive oil on, and sure enough, his little boy calmed right down and no issues. So I think he had bug bites or something. I don't remember right now, but yeah, so there are many, many fatty seed and nut oils that you can use. Even macadamia nut oil, you can use primrose oil. There's just so many out there.
Okay, I've used, like, I like grapeseed oil and a lot of, because I really believe so strongly that health is the way to go. So many things that we are putting into our body, we don't even realize are causing us a lot of issues, and we don't know because of the chemical makeup, because of chemical properties, and so many things that we, maybe depending on who we are and what our body needs and has, we shouldn't have. We have people all the time out here that are saying, try this, eat this, go this, get this, and our body may not be meant for that. I know personal experience. There was a young lady once that had a natural health product, and it was completely natural. And she said, "You really need to try this." I'm like, "Well, Candy, you're into natural stuff. You got to try this. You got to try it." I tried it, and it broke me out in boils, in horrible boils. I mean, like lots of boils. It was horrible. And she was insistent that it was just a fluke, because it couldn't, because this product is totally natural. Well, haven't been in the health and the wellness industry. I think it is, but it's possible. I will try it again. So I tried it again a month later. Boom, same thing. So I knew it was that product. So it wasn't for whatever was my body. My body didn't like it. So I love what you're saying. I mean, you're so knowledgeable on these things and talking about how oil and water, what you just said about them not mixing. Now, one experience I have, if you would please expound a little bit on the power and how it relates to your cookware and your plasticware and your favorite plastic containers.
Yes. Well, essential oils, I mentioned that you can ingest essential oils. So a lot of times we recommend for a nice little liver cleansing, or to help your body to create more leukocytes and lymphocytes. These are white blood cells which boost our immune system. We want to put a few drops of lemon oil in our water and drink it throughout the day. However, you do not want to put any essential oil in a plastic container. You want to put it in glass or even stainless steel, because essential oils have the ability to break down petrochemicals. Petrochemicals are those oil-based derived products like plastic. And as it breaks it down, then we ingest it. And aren't we trying to get away from, petrochemicals and those things which can cause, degenerative cells and all of that? So we want to make sure that we're drinking our oils or cooking with our oils in stainless or glass, something that's really healthy so it can't break down.
Okay. I did that once before I really knew the how they can affect the plastics, and it's like, whoa, what just happened? What just happened to this? That's powerful. And I love when you talk about lemon. Guys, if you're not drinking your water, get some water right now. Drink your water. Water body does a body good, and it's great. And I always like my lemon in my water. I absolutely love it. And it really does make me feel good. The peppermint, like you said, there are so many things that peppermint's in so many things that people use for muscles, like what you just said, the muscles and your aches and pains, is peppermint. Where what I like about what you do, Christina, is you educate people on how to do that themselves without the putting the chemicals and everything. And so I love that about that. When you now there is one, let me see, it's on the carousel here. Let me take a look at this. Da-da-da. Where is this? There is, I want to find it because I want to highlight it so people can see it. Oh, a great place. I mean, is this about the, I want to make sure I have the right one here, get the right, this, da-da-da-da. Bear with me, bear with me. Okay, I know I put it in the carousel. Ah, here it is, here it is. Okay, essential oils and animals. How does that come in? I mean, really? You're gonna give some essential oil to your dog? I'm gonna pay $15 for this bottle and give it to my dog? How does that work? I
Well,
mean,
actually, pet owners will probably end up paying more for their dog's health than they do for their own health, unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on where your interests lie. But we need to think of animals as having, they're mammals, and they have similarities uh, in our human bodies, in their bodies. So the essential oils work in the same way with animals. As a matter of fact, I just got a new book. It's called The Animal's Desk Reference, and I got it from discoverlsp.com. I think you could probably get it on Amazon as well. It it is specifically written to how to use essential oils with animals. So if you have a hip discomfort and you go to Panaway and it works for you, and your German Shepherd has a hip discomfort and you put Panaway on his hindquarters, it will work for him. Now, keep in mind the weight of our animals is probably a lot less than ours. So you don't need as much. And when I talk about as much, I want to be specific that you only need to use drops. You don't need to use 50 drops on your back. Oh my gosh, no. Use two on your back, two, maybe a couple of times throughout the day. Same thing with animals. I had a couple who was doing some renovations in their house, and they were sawing in their house, so they had a lot of sawdust in the air, and they had two parrots, and one of the parrots was really, really sick. They thought he might have pneumonia, and it was probably because he had been breathing in sawdust. So we took frankincense and just tipped the bottle onto our finger and rubbed it on his feathered chest, and voila. What frankincense does, frankincense is really, it supports everything from the top of the head to the tip of the toe. It's amazing, amazing oil. And it can open up the respiratory system. So those who suffer from, say, asthma, I always recommend trying to use frankincense and hyssop. These open up the airways and they help with the flow of oxygen. So it's good, these are good oils to support both us and our pets. And, if you're using it for a particular ailment on you, then know that you can probably use that on them as well. As a matter of fact, Gary Young, who is the founder of Young Living, did extensive research on the efficacy of what we call the raindrop technique. And he used to use it on his horses a lot. And so for equine, for, cats, for dogs. But with cats, you have to be particularly careful that, again, you're using a pure essential oil, because they can get toxic livers very, very quickly from adulterated oils.
wow. So that is an important thing to know.
Yes.
Again, that's why I love having you here on the stream, because we need to know about these things. The You mentioned the animal reference. Guys, she mentioned that reference, the pocket reference for animals, that is being highlighted right now in the carousel. So you can get that right now from Amazon. It's incredible. I have the regular reference. I meant to put that in the carousel and did not do that. And I love this book. I live by this book, guys. When you click on the animal one, get that one for your animal. If you're a pet owner, it will do wonders for you. And also take a look at this one. The Essential Oils Pocket Reference 8th edition is also this is my health and wellness Bible, more or less. Could you please talk a little bit about this? You had it long before I did, and you know a lot more about it. And I have read this thing. I mean, literally, I've read it front to back, and there's so much in here. I won't ingest it for 3 lifetimes or more. So let's talk a little bit about that. Why it's important to have some type of reference book when it comes to dealing with essential oils.
Well, I agree. The essential oils desk reference or pocket guide, you can get the desk reference in this size as well. But the pocket guide is handy because you've got it with you. You can carry it in your pocketbook. You can keep it in your car. The beauty of that book is that it really goes through the history of essential oils, how we distill our essential oils, how pure oils are, how to use our essential oils. And then it goes into some the raindrop technique, how to do a raindrop technique using 9 different oils. This is good for supporting the immune system. It's been shown through study that it has been very effective in the remediation of scoliosis.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. But the really best part of that pocket reference is that you can look up in the back any kind of malady, for example, headache or diabetes or heart disease or liver cleanse. And it will give you a list of essential oils. And it will usually put the first and most prominent essential oil that if you have it, use that. But if you don't have that one, then you can use any of the others listed. And then it tells you the application and gives you directions on how to apply it for any malady. And there are literally hundreds of different maladies. It is the Bible for essential oil. It is the best book, really.
It really is. You're more passionate. Well, I don't know. I don't know who's most passionate about this book, you or me. I love it. I live by it. As a matter of fact, I got one to even keep in my backpack. So when I travel, this is my home, and this is my other one that goes with me. I actually learned. Now, you just shared something I didn't know, that like ingredients on a label of a food product, how they usually have it most at the first one and then less and less at the end. I did not know that about the pocket reference, that it started on the when it talks about the products that are the oils, different oils you can use, the one you should use first if you have it, and then going down. For those of you who are just joining us, hi, I'm the Security Lady. I'm Amazon influencer creator. And I'm here with Christine Rose Campbell, the Security Lady. What I do is I help people to gain confidence by empowering them through the use and knowledge of the latest technology as it relates to personal protection, home business security, and total life wellness. And today we are here talking about total life wellness because we have an amazing guest. This is Prime, Amazon Prime. We're in Prime Day, guys, which you have a lot of discounts, a lot of deals, and a lot of amazing people like Miss Christina Rose Campbell. Wait a minute. I think I like the way I said that. Let me say that again. We have a lot of deals, a lot of specials going on, learning about essential oils today and the benefits that they can help with your body. And we have people like Christina Rose Campbell. Wait a minute. That sounds like something. I'm taking over something. I think that's a tune or something. Wasn't that a tune to? I know what it's a tune to. Meet George Jetson, his wife Judy, his son Elroy. Oh my gosh, I have not seen that show since I was like 5 years old. And how long ago was that? We're not even going to go there. And guys, essential oils are so amazing. They can just give you a life. We are not doctors. We're not talking here from a medical perspective, from a medical point of view. We are not doctors. We are simply people that use these products, that love these products, that are certified in different areas. I've been certified as a health and wellness coach, and I've been a wellness coach for over 32 years. Ms. Christina Campbell has done extensive knowledge and research. Ms. Christina Campbell, could you again tell us about research that you've done, the training that you basically have in these oils as it relates to the oils, again, for the people that are just coming on that weren't here at the beginning, please.
So in 2008, I graduated from the Australasian College of Health Sciences with I'm a nationally registered certified master aromatherapist. I actually took my GI Bill. I was in the Army, and I took my GI Bill to pay for my schooling, and I went to school for 3 years and then got my degree through that school, which is now the American College of Health Sciences. And they do have an aromatherapy degree. However, you don't need a degree to learn about essential oils. And as we mentioned, those two reference guides, that is really the very best place to start, is just to start diving in deep into finding out the different kinds of oils. In the beginning of that book, it talks about each oil, how it's sourced, where it comes from, how we process it for use, whether it's distilled or cold pressed, like in the case of orange oil or lemon oil, any rind fruit, we usually cold press that. And then the different uses, medicinal uses, and how it's been used in the past. So, like historical uses. So it is really a wealth of information. And I think, even though I went to school for 3 years, 90% of my knowledge has really been taken outside of the school arena and just digging deep into personal testimonies, because, if it works for you, let's talk about why. I've also done a lot of research on pubmed.org, because there's so many research papers that have been published on the use of essential oils and the efficacy of essential oils. It's really phenomenal.
It is. It is. I can't stress enough, and you've heard me say this on several occasions, going back to the T367, when I had burned my hand. I was doing something with my 3 children. I was a single parent at the time, and I was so busy, engaged, that I had this I got the water needed to be as hot as it possibly could for boiling, because I was cleaning something. And so I needed that water as scalding hot as possible. I tripped, and the entire pot it was almost like my hand just went shoo right into the pot. And it was not even a minute, and it was starting to blister. So you know what type of burn that was. That was a serious burn. I was so confident in the tea tree oil that I went ahead and took it. That's the common name of it, tea tree melaleuca alternative oil. But as you well know, I'm saying that for everybody else that's listening in here. I just drilled. I had, like, at that point I had probably about 20 bottles, and because I was a distributor at that point in time. I took it and I just took a bottle. I mean, like, for the next 3 days, I'm just dousing it. Drop, like you said, you don't need a whole lot, but I'm just dousing it, drop, making sure I put in the drop, and the burn was just soaking it up. I mean, instantly, just soaking it, like I wasn't even putting it on there. But I'm telling you, that next morning, what I should have had, and even the doctors at the emergency room said this, they said I didn't even need to come to the emergency room. But I was concerned, because I'm like, it couldn't be healing that well. It couldn't have done that well. And it just kept it down. And it was like nothing ever happened. Just a couple weeks later, you could feel the pain. I could still feel it. And I knew the damage. I kept a close eye on it. So for those of you listening, if you have any type of serious burn or any type of serious issue, again, I'm not a doctor, I'm just sharing from personal experience. Please see your medical professional, because things could be happening under that you don't see. And unless you are a medical professional and you are like super went to school for 1,000 years knowing all these things, you may not see those things going on the inside. And that's where a lot of infections take place on the inside, because people don't seek medical help. And before using a product that's new to you, do your due diligence. Would you not agree with that, Christina?
I do, absolutely. I love your burn story, because where we got the name of aromatherapy, you might find this really interesting. In 1910, there was a man by the name of René Godfasset, and he was a chemist in France, and he had an explosion in his laboratory, which caused him to have 2nd and 3rd degree burns on his arm. He ran to the end of his lab table, where he had an enamel pan filled with clear liquid, which off the top of his head, he just thought it was cool water. And so he immersed his arm in that cool liquid and realized from the aromatic properties that it was lavender oil. He watched that burn heal dramatically 3 times faster than it would have normally healed. And that is when he started thinking, you know what? There's something to these oils. There's something to these plant oils that God gave us on the 3rd day of creation. And I'm going to look into it more diligently. And he ended up, we have a book from him translated in English, has been over many, many years. And he coined the word aromatherapy. So from Rene Gattefossé in the early 1900s. And I will tell you that there are a lot of oils that will help to support, burned skin, but lavender is really, in my estimation, is number one. If you have lavender oil, you're going to want to use that. We call lavender the Swiss Army knife or the universal oil. So when in doubt, what oil to use for whatever, choose lavender.
I love that. Let me see. Let's see over here. I know, because that is one that I really like. It's very relaxing. I use that in my laundry too.
Oh, yeah. So when we put pure essential oils in our laundry, for example, kicking the dryer sheets to the curb because they have so many toxic chemicals in them, you can just take a piece of an old sock. That's what my husband uses for dryer sheets.
Right?
And he puts 10 of those little pieces in a quart jar, and he'll add a half a cup of white vinegar and about 20 drops of his favorite essential oil. Now, when you're using pure essential oils, they have a frequency. They have an energy about them. If you're using oils that have not been distilled properly, that energy is dead. That energy has been destroyed through high pressure and high heat. And so it actually fractionates the molecule that's bringing to you the frequency for your body to align with and for the healing properties of the essential oils. And so if you throw that little piece of sock with a little bit of essential oil into your clothes, it infuses your clothes with a higher frequency so that when you wear your clothes or you sleep in your sheets, you're actually raising the frequency of your being. This is so phenomenal. There's an incredible book out called Quantum Physics, Essential Oils, and the Mind-Body Connection. And unfortunately, it is out of print.
What? Well, I'm glad I have mine.
I think I sent you one because it's so
You did.
And it really talks about the frequencies of the oils. And that is the beauty of Young Living, is that Gary spent over 35 years in the study of proper distillation so that he did not fractionate that molecule and render it effective. And so, I love to talk about the frequency because it really affects our emotions. So one of the best oils for emotions, like raising your emotions, like maybe you are in the doldrums and you need to perk up your day with a little sunshine, any of the citrus oils. So Citrus Fresh is one of Young Living's blends of essential oils with a little bit of spearmint splashed in there. And that's great for my laundry, for my dryer socks. And I will throw that in there. And I just know that it's uplifting my spirits and putting me in a better, happier frame of mind.
I love that. Okay, now since you said that about putting things in happier, let me leave this real quick. And okay. Oh, wait a minute here. Okay, since you mentioned that, I'm going to highlight something else that is very dear to me that you had told me about a long time ago, and that I used to have years and years ago and could never find the one I liked until I found out they have them on Amazon. And guys, I just highlighted it in the chat for those of you listening. This.
Oh,
This
necklace.
Yes, yes, I have to show this off. I have to show this off right now because in most all of my, anytime someone sees me, I usually have one on. In most all of my live stream, guys, if you check out my other live streams, you'll see this. And the cool thing about this is you can just open it. See, you knew what it was immediately. You just open it up, open the little thing right there, and open it. Oh, I don't have so you guys can see it out here. Open that, and then it has this little stone in it. That's a lava stone,
Yeah.
and sometimes I think people think, man, what kind of drugs is she on? she's always sniffing that ball. She's sniffing her necklace. What? I need one of those necklaces. And then you put it back in there. And so could you please explain a little bit to our amazing audience, guys? If you're listening out here and you just joined, I'm the Security Lady, and I help people to gain confidence by empowering them through the use and knowledge of the latest technology as it relates to personal protection, home security, and total life wellness. And today we have the most amazing, famous Christina Rose Campbell here talking to us about oils and essential oil basics, how they work, what they can do for your life, how they can help you relax, revive, and rejuvenate. So I want you guys to know that you are meeting Miss Christina Rose Campbell. I love it. I love it. So could you talk a little bit about what diffuser necklaces are and how they work?
Yeah, so the diffuser jewelry is awesome because we talked about making the scent tent earlier, breathing in the essential oils aromatically through the nose because it goes up through the limbic system, which is the seat of emotions, the frontal part of the brain, and then it goes back and it affects the pituitary, the hypothalamus, the pineal gland, and it helps with kicking in hormones for balance and all of those things. So any way that we can breathe in the pure essential oils, whether it be through a diffuser, and I have an Aria diffuser in my office, but there are so many. I must have 13 different diffusers in my home. Years, you end up collecting them. But I have a lot of diffuser jewelry as well. So you put that drop of oil on. What oil do you have on your necklace?
Right now I have in here Breathe. Is it Breathe Easy? Let me see. I'm sorry, what did you say? Breathe what?
Breathe Again.
Breathe Again. Is it Breathe Again?
Yes, it's Breathe Again.
Okay, well, that's what I had. Yes, it is Breathe Again. Yeah, that is what it is.
So that will open up your respiratory, your airways, your sinuses. It's a beautiful oil. So my favorite to put in my diffuser jewelry is rose. And I will tell you, it takes about 300,000 pounds. Oh, I might not have my facts perfect on that, but it takes lots and lots and lots and lots of rose petals to make 1 simple pound of rose oil. And that brings me to explaining about adulteration. There are actually 4 grades of oil. There are food grade oil, there's perfume oil, there's therapeutic grade oil, and then there's just kind of garbage oil out there actually. And how can you tell the difference? The problem with oils in today's market is that the labeling laws do not have to show whether or not an oil is adulterated as long as it has at least 5% of the pure essential oil in it.
Wow. Wait. Say that again.
So you don't have to reflect any of the other ingredients on the bottle as long as the bottle contains a minimum of 5% of the essential oil. So I'm going to give you an example. I'm not going to say the brand, but I'm going to give you an example of a brand that said 100% lavender oil on the bottle. It had no other labeling. So we had it tested in Chicago in 2001 and found that it was 17% essential oil of lavender and 83% propylene glycol, which is trees. And nowhere on the bottle, because there are no standards in the United States for essential oils because they don't know that much about essential oils. The FDA has not taken the time to study, what can happen to an essential oil if you put propylene glycol in it. We know that antifreeze can cause liver damage. That's why we let our pets into it. So if you're using,
and antifreeze can also kill pests because it killed my German Shepherd. One of the German Shepherds I have, it killed him, and he didn't even have that much. He drunk some before I could even get to him to realize he was licking out of a puddle. They had it in there. So, I go ahead. That's another subject. We'll talk about that later, but continue with what you were saying.
So if you are using oils that you don't know where they're sourced, you don't know where their seed comes from, you don't know how they're distilling it, you can't go to their farms, you're guessing. You're guessing by buying a bottle of oil without knowing for sure. And then you're putting that on your child. You're rubbing that propylene glycol on them. Now, not all adulterated oils are cut with propylene glycol. There are other alcohols or cetals that can be added that may not be quite as detrimental. But if I'm going to use an essential oil, I want the real deal. I want the seed to seal. And if you want to know more about seed to seal, you can go out to seedtoseal.com and get the history of seed to seal, because this is really where it's important. You don't want genetically modified seed. You don't want hybridized plants. You want the way that God created it on the third day of creation.
That is so awesome. That's awesome. Guys, I can't tell you enough when we highlighted this reference book that you can get right now in the carousel to learn some of these things, the amazing things. And do your due diligence. Go on the internet. That's why we have the internet. Google. And there's so many things out there that are good as well as false. As you know, I'm the security lady, so I'm here to tell you that there are a lot of scammers in just about every area. And when you hear the phrase, well, just a little bit of propylene glycol won't hurt you, just a little bit of this bad won't hurt you, just a little bit. I like to look at it like this. When it comes to my body and caring about my body and the health of my children, my family, and my children and my family will tell you this. It is those little things that compounded daily can kill you. Like the IRS. Not saying, hey, IRS, if you're out here listening to me, I'm not saying that you're, the devil in disguise or anything of that nature. I'm simply saying that you guys have a job and a task to do, and your job is to collect money and taxes from people, and by all means necessary, whether it takes their houses, their homes, their cars, their livelihood, you're going to get those taxes. Okay, it's the same thing when it comes to things that are harmful for people. If I put a cup to you, if you tell me, okay, security lady, I'm just eating a little bit. I know I have high blood pressure, diabetes, lung disease, and another issue. And I'm just eating, one cookie, and I only eat like one cookie a day. I only used to eat 10. Take arsenic and put arsenic in a cup. And just drink a teaspoon of arsenic a day and see where you are in 10 days.
Yeah, it won't be good.
It won't be good if you're still alive after the third day. So that's what it is. If you want a quality of life, if you want to wake up feeling like, oh, pow, snap every single day, if you want to look out your window and be glad about getting up to the sunshine and looking at it as a positive thing, knowing that even if it's raining, the sunshine is going to come because that's the way things work around the world, then don't do that to your body. Love your body because your body's going to love you back. So thank you, Christina, for sharing that with us about the things. And the FDA, I am so thankful we have them, or we really be in a pickle because there will be nothing anywhere. But the FDA isn't all no. I can't tell you how many cans of corn my mother opened when I was a kid that had a big fat caterpillar worm in it. Okay, I'm sorry, but there's a big difference between a kernel of corn and a caterpillar, a big fat caterpillar. So things get by and they can't monitor everything all the time. So you have to take charge of your own health. So Christine, thank you so much for sharing that. Now you mentioned something that I would like to expound on, because to know a little bit more for people that are listening, how this works, I'm going to highlight it. Oh, wait a minute, there's some stress away. Oh, we'll talk about that later. But I'm going to highlight this product. I know I put it in there because it is one of my favorite. Okay, I just highlighted this in the carousel. For those of you who are listening, I am here with Christina Rose Campbell. It is Prime weekend, so we have prime day for the next 24 to, let me see, I don't think we have 48 hours left. I think we have 24 hours left. Maybe. We have a lot of specials and deals going on to help people. And we're talking about health, wellness, rejuvenizing yourself, essential oil basics, relax, rejuvenate, revive your body, because your body wants to feel fantastic. And I have something that, okay, I only have 2 or 3 of these. You have 15, but I'm going to show you. Are you ready for this, Miss Christina Rose Campbell? Are you ready for this? Wait a minute, guys. Wait a minute. I think she almost saw it. I think she knows what I'm going to bring out here. Guys, if you have any questions, please leave them in chat. If you're on Amazon Live, right here, up here, I'm pointing right up here. Follow me right there, and then you can learn more things. You can see Christina Rose Campbell and see what she's saying. Also, you can find her on Facebook. You can look her up on Facebook if you have any questions about intricacies of how these oils work. And then you come back to Amazon and you get some of these things and look at the products we have. But yes, feel free to go to Facebook and ask her, pick her brain, pick her knowledge if you're looking at getting it started in these, and find out from the experts what they feel about it, what's going on, and do your due diligence. So follow that button up there, up here, right here, so you can know when I'm coming live the next time. We're going to have some amazing guests on tomorrow. Oh my gosh, you want to be here for those guests as well. Just like I said, you want to be here for Miss Christina Rose Campbell. You want to be here for these guests because they're going to talk about the intricacies of stun guns and super secret James Bond spy, because I got your back. Security Lady got your back. So follow me up there so you can get notified. Also, if you're on Facebook or YouTube or Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, or Twitch, listening live there, you think I'm pointing up into the plain air. You're like, what in the world is she talking about? We don't see anything up there. There's not anything up there over there. You had to come over to the securitylady.live to see all these things and the things in the carousel. So we have just highlighted. You saw it. You already saw it. You know what it is. You know what it is. You just saw the tiny little top of it right there. Okay, guys. Oh, look at this. Okay, I'm going to show you this, how it works. So you guys that are watching on Amazon Live, watch this. Look, isn't this pretty? I mean, this is so amazing. And when I push this button right here, it goes down a little bit. Oh, look. I don't know. Maybe I need to bring it back a little bit. See, look at these. Look at that flickering. Oh, wow. Turns it off. Okay, so can you talk a little bit about what these things are? Because if you open it up, you can see there's a whole different. Oh, you know what? This almost looks like it's some super secret space shuttle, out of the planet stuff. I'm looking at it actually on the screen. It's so, oh my gosh. Guys, this is like pure gold.
Well, it's one of our many, many diffusers. And a diffuser is an apparatus, as you can see, that you put water in it. You fill it up to a certain level, and then you add 10 to 20 drops of essential oil. I used to say 6, but then I thought, why not get the best effect that you could possibly get? One of those diffusers will cover about 600 square feet. And so I don't go to bed at night without my diffuser running right next to my bedside. One of the oils that I've been using recently is Release, which is an oil blend by Young Living, because I just finished a 10-day master cleanse. And I like to use Release over my liver and in my diffuser to help me release any toxins, negative emotions. Release is just a phenomenal oil. So every single night for the last 20 years, I have put my diffuser on, put my 10 or 20 drops of Young Living oil in it, and then breathed it in through the night. But also, if you have little kiddos that are coming in from play or maybe in from school, and school has been haphazard this last year, but when they come in, they're bringing in airborne bacteria and viruses. And one of the best things that you can do for your family's health is to diffuse an essential oil blend by Young Living called Thieves.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Thieves, because it has the ability. They did tests in 1994. Weber State University tested Thieves and its effectiveness against airborne bacteria and viruses. They found that it was effective against 60 different bacteria, 13 different molds and fungi, and 2 viruses. And I won't go into the details, but if anyone ever wants to get that list from that study, we'll find a way to get it to you. You know, like she said, tag me on Facebook. I can send you a link, you know, of the document. But it's research that was done, and so it cleanses the air. And these diffusers, these things that we add to our home, add to heighten and shift our lifestyle to a healthier, happier lifestyle for both us and our entire family. Thieves is one of those oil products that is a must have. And Young Living actually has an entire line of proprietary Thieves products to include Thieves hand soap, Thieves dish soap, Thieves laundry detergent, which we did the math and it came out cheaper by load than gain. And so, oh, Thieves spray, yeah, Thieves hand sanitizer, hand purifier, love it. Especially, you know, since we've been going through what we've been going through the last year, and everybody using hand sanitizer. Why not use the healthiest, one of the healthiest hand sanitizers out there, which is the Thieves hand purifier?
And
But
that stuff works so well. I mean, it works and it's like natural. You don't have that any sticky feeling. You don't have that alcohol, like whoa, you
soft
know?
skin.
Hmm.
Softens your skin. I actually carry mine in my pocketbook. I don't go anywhere without it. And there is a size for your pocketbook. I'm digging in the bottom of my pocketbook because we also have a larger, I think it's 7.8 ounces as well. Oh, it's in here somewhere. Don't you just love the endless pit of your pocketbook?
All right.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it's in here, and if I find it, I will show it to you. But I love the hand sanitizer, and I won't go anywhere without it.
Okay, well, you keep talking about that a little bit because I'm going to grab it out of my purse because oh, you found yours. Okay.
And actually, I take these little bottles because they're only 1 ounce bottles. Yeah. And I keep filling it back up with the larger bottle that I have over here on my desk. But it makes your hands soft. You know, some of the hand sanitizers out there are so, oh, it smells so good.
Oh,
Are
you're making me jealous. You're gonna make me jump up, get my feet out of that. Right now, my feet are in the foot massager, and the foot massager's in the carousel, guys. And you're gonna make me jump out of my foot massager to go get my things just to put it on.
Oh, yeah, it's so nice because a lot of those other ones will cause your fingers to dry, the tips of your
Hmm.
dry, crack, and bleed. And that's the last thing you want. So because that will allow bacteria to come into the body. So yeah, I love the hand sanitizer. Thieves is it's just it's a must have. You've got to have Thieves.
Okay, so I'm ready to talk about the origin because I love the story about how it actually came about. And of course, nobody has been able to talk to the actual thieves to find out, that's what they say. But it's kind of known throughout the universe that that's how it came about. And since you're here as a special guest today, the amazing Christina Rose Campbell, you're here as an amazing guest. Could you please talk about how it came about? Because when you look at all those things that came about, it's even biblical. We're not going to get on the biblical story here. We're not going to have church today, guys. We're simply talking about the history of some things as we know it, the how that came about. Because most women and men, I mean, use these same things in their everyday cooking and baking. But could you please talk a little bit about how this story came about at the very beginning from the graves?
Sure. So during the bubonic plague, this was in the 15th century, there were a band of thieves. And they went about, well, they were perfumers by night, but they were, I don't remember what they were during the day, but that's okay. So anyway, they went about at night actually robbing the dead and dying. And it was a very lucrative business until they got busted by the local constabulary who asked them to give up their magic. You see, back during the bubonic plague, we didn't have microscopes. And so we didn't know about bacteria. We didn't know about viruses. We didn't know that flu virus or viruses in general could go from rats to humans, from fleas to rats to humans. We didn't know any of that. So they always thought of it as the death angel, illness as something really negative or the devil or whatever. And when they got busted, they couldn't figure out what it was that they were doing that was keeping them from getting sick. And they said, look, we're from a long line of apothecaries, of aromatherapists, if you will, but the word hadn't been coined yet by Renee. So they said, what we do is we soak our clothing and rags and wrap them around our face in vats of vinegar with herbs and spices. Those herbs and spices, there's about 17 different renditions of this story, but basically the herbs and spices were lemon, eucalyptus, clove, cinnamon, in some rosemary. In some instances, the recipe had peppermint in it. But thieves is made up of those 5 oils: lemon, eucalyptus radiata, clove, rosemary, and cinnamon bark. And so when Gary Young, the founder of our company, found out about that story, he had been researching a lot of historical evidence on essential oils. He decided to do the testing at Weber State University in 1994 and found that, yes, indeed, it was very effective. So these guys got busted and they were asked to give up their magic, which was nothing more than that recipe. And that was the beginning of the end of the bubonic plague.
Wow.
So they posted that recipe in the middle of the town square. And I believe in some historical renditions, it says that these were 4 thieves of Marseille.
I read that.
And so this was the beginning of the end. And that is one of the reasons why during this last pandemic that we've had, people are turning to alternatives to, see if they'll help.
Yes, and I believe that 100%. I used to get pneumonia every single year, twice a year, every single year, without fail, from the time I was 11 or 12 years old. So when I hit my 30s and it was just unbearable anymore, I remember getting it one fall and I felt like I was just on my deathbed from pneumonia. The doctor told me that at this rate, he looked at my lungs and checked everything out. He said, with the scarring that you have at this rate, that you keep getting it every twice a year, you're not going to make it to 40. I mean, that was what the doctor told me that was dealing with my respiratory system. You're not going to make it. We got to figure out why you're getting this, how you're getting it. A friend introduced me to some things, and I have no issues sharing this. I share it with everybody, called echinacea.
Oh, yeah.
Echinacea. I started taking echinacea and also some noni, the original noni. Do you know that I didn't get pneumonia after taking that? And I thought, because it was actually a doctor from, I forget what country he was from, that actually told me about echinacea, and a friend verified it. So I started taking, I'm like, well, I was hesitant, Christina, because I'm like, okay, wait, all these other people that have pneumonia and get, these type of viruses and the flu, et cetera. If this is so good, if this is really working, then why don't they know about it? We did. Why don't they know about it? Why haven't I heard about it? I've been in health and wellness and I've never heard about this. So I was hesitant, but I thought this worked. I did not get pneumonia this fall. I didn't get it at all. I had that spring, but I didn't get it that fall, and I didn't get it that winter. I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep taking it, because they told me, they said, take it every day until you get this pneumonia under control. For the next year, just take it every day. And I followed it religiously. And I'm like, this can't be. This cannot be. And then I did some research, and it said, well, you can slow down. Now just keep it in your system, but you can slow it down. You don't have to take it every single day. Do you know, it's been 30 years now, and I have not had pneumonia once. And I still live with that echinacea. And the oils, like I said, with the burn story, these things that work for me, when I use these oils and essential oils and do my research, and this guide is amazing, and listen to people like you, it's natural. The things that we have that we can actually help our body to heal itself from the inside. Again, guys, we are not doctors. We're not clinicians. We're not claiming to be. We are simply two amazing women that care about our health, and they care about the health of everyone else that's listening to the stream and wants to have an amazing health and wellness life journey. So thank you for sharing that. There's something else that I want to talk about when we talk about pandemics. Why do you think, I feel like I know, in my opinion, and this is specifically in your opinion, that people are reluctant to use oils and come to a natural lifestyle?
Well, we're always afraid of what we don't understand.
Mm.
And, this is, unless you were raised by grandmothers that wildcrafted and used a lot of herbs and poultices and plasters and whatnot, you've never been exposed to using natural remedy. And we are brought up in a society or a culture that if anything is wrong, we go directly to, medical professionals. And it takes the onus off of us. It takes the responsibility off of us to do the research, to do the hard work, to find out what our bodies are synergistically aligned with. And we trust those who are practicing medicine to practice on us. And I don't say that in a negative way. It is what it is. However, I chose many years ago when common Western medicine was not helping me. I was diagnosed with Gulf War illness or syndrome. It was called syndrome when I first was diagnosed, and now it's been changed to illness. I was in the first Gulf War and I got very, very sick. And of course, they were treating me with all kinds of drugs, and I was not getting any better. I was getting sicker and sicker and sicker. And it wasn't until June of 1999, 22 years ago, this month, that I sought out an alternative route and found that, yes, indeed, this matched exactly what my body was screaming for.
Wow.
Yeah, and that I think is the main reason I'm as passionate today and have been for 22 years about Young Living and essential oils, because of the fact that it turned my life around. It was one of the significant, not only emotional, but physical events that makes a lasting change on your psyche. And you are going to tell the world. And so that's how I came about doing what I do today. And that's why now the onus is on us to teach, to educate, to share everything that we can, so that people know that they have an option. They can choose to continue Western medicine. That's not my issue. That's your choice. We have freedom here in the United States, and I'm grateful for that. However, if you're looking for a different way, another way, a possible way that might be gentler to your body and
I like that.
alignment with your body, I think, reaching out to us and what we have learned and what we have is really a good answer for you. I think we might have what you're looking for.
I love that. Love that. Love that. Okay. And I know time is really short. Actually, we're over the time because there's so many things, so many more things I want to ask you. Yes. Well, and that's my fault. I should have been keeping track of the time. I appreciate so much because you are a busy, busy woman and you have so many things out there, so many videos on YouTube and everywhere else. Guys, you can look her up on YouTube, Christina Rose Campbell, to find out more information as well. We have so many products here in the carousel. Look at these products, do your due diligence, check them out, listen, take to heart what you've heard today on the stream, have a healthy lifestyle. I want the best for you and your family. Christina Rose Campbell does as well. Is it a possibility? Because we have things on here like this sample pack. Guys, I just highlighted the sample pack that you can take a look at, and other things that the difference, because I'm getting too excited here. I'm getting too excited because I just love these oils. I love healthy lifestyle. I love anybody that contributes to the healthiness and wellness of the world. There's a difference between, I know for this particular company, there's a difference between, let me see, do I have two of the same here? I don't know if I do. But for example, they will have, I had it, what did I do with it? I must have put it in the restroom when I put it in my foot bath that I have right now. You can tell the difference between this on these. because one of the jars is white and the other jar is regular color. So you can tell whether you can ingest it or not. How do you know? I have people asking me all the time, Security Lady, how do I know if I can ingest it? How do you know? I mean, how do you know? This company is pretty clear on the colors of the bottle. You can tell immediately if you can ingest it or not. On average, when they're buying other oils from other places, how do they know if it is or not?
They don't. It might say, do not ingest, specifically
Okay.
their oil. And in that case, that tells me, that gives me a red flag that that oil is probably been adulterated. Because if it says do not ingest on lavender oil, we know that you can ingest lavender. And so we have lavender in what we call a Vitality white label, Vitality bottle. However, it's exactly the same lavender is in our topical bottle. But to be in 100% compliance with the FDA, we have chosen to identify those that you can ingest clearly in any white label bottle that is Vitality. And there's no question. There's just never any question. Whereas if you buy a different brand oil, you're going to not know. And if it says do not ingest, I wouldn't even put it on my skin. That's just me. It's my opinion, because who knows? It may have propylene glycol in it. Who knows?
That's one thing I try to live by as much as possible. Sometimes because being over here in the United States, we have people from all over the world. So for those of you who are watching from other countries, this is not specific to the US when we're talking about health and wellness. It's all over the world. And the good thing about you chiming in for watching Amazon Live is you can see things from Amazon, and Amazon ships all over the world, and you get information. Even if you're in a position like some of my friends that I know over in the Dominican Republic and other countries, if you're in a position where you cannot buy these things, you're getting the education so you can learn more about these. And education can put you so much far above the ball game. So make sure you're following right here so you can learn about the updates and things that are going on in our world, and this health and wellness and security, personal protection, etc. Christina, is it possible that we can have you back on another stream?
Oh,
And,
I love it.
oh,
We've not even touched the tip of the iceberg, right, Candy? We have so much to share. And again, this is my passion. It's from my heart. I'm here to help. And we're just here to guide and direct you into a better lifestyle.
that is wonderful. That's fantastic. Okay, guys, thank you again. I'm Candy Perry, the Security Lady, and we help the people to gain confidence by empowering them through the use and knowledge of the latest technology as relates to personal protection, home business security, and total life wellness. And we want to give an extra applause for Miss Christina Rose Campbell, who enjoyed and was here giving us the honor and pleasure of gleaning from her knowledge today. Kisses, hugs, much love to you. And until the next live stream, we will see you then.